Hello there, Bic Benedict here. We're playing God of War Chains of Olympus on God difficulty, and this is my no upgrade run plus featuring no damage. We're currently on installment the 8th, and this is, you know how I've been swearing a lot on past videos, more than I usually do? Well, just fuck this. Fuck this. This is so goddamn difficult that I wanted to kill somebody. I wanted to just I'm sorry. I'm not saying I'm gonna go kill somebody, right? I'm not saying that I'm gonna kill anybody. I'm not saying I'm gonna hurt anybody, hurt myself, nothing like that. I was just fucking pissed. I was so goddamn upset on this part because it's fucking hard, man. It's hard shit. So what they do after you do this, you do child abuse on your daughter. You're gonna spawn over here, and then you're going to be going around barehanding killing these shades because you are trying to get your powers back. Now, if they checkpointed it after this part, I wouldn't have a problem, but the problem is you have to do this every time, so it's really lame. And you know the funny thing? The whole funny thing is I'm going to stick around when I could leave, and that makes it even harder. Now you're going to be going around hitting enemies with your blades. I mean, sorry, they're not enemies, these shades here. You're going to be hitting them with your shades. Now, there are 3 of these harrowers here, these ones. And the combat roll is often not fast enough to get out of range of their attacks or to outrun them. Now, I'm not saying that they can outright outrun you, but if you're trying to slow down to kill a shade or speed up because you know that they're coming, you are often just going to get hit, and it's extremely frustrating. Now you might say, why don't you just kill the 3 harrowers and then take out the shades? Well, we're kind of going to do that at the end, but the thing is that these 3, when there's 3 of them, they spawn indefinitely. So there's no way that you can do that. The game's going to spawn in 3, 4, and 5. Now, when you get to the 5 ones, those ones will keep getting backups too if you kill them all. However, once the gate is down and you can leave, then the 5 that were previously never-ending spawns, it's just 5, and then no other harrowers come in to try to cut you down. Now it's your choice. If you want to leave, you can leave. If you want to stick around, if you're a glutton for punishment like I am, you'll stay because you think that if you don't do it, you haven't done the walkthrough all in every aspect. But this is just ridiculous. They're way too fast. They've never been this fast, and they should not be this fast. Okay, so here's the last part. Now you just have to get to the rest of these. So what do you want to do? You want to do the combat roll, and then when you approach a shade, you just want to quickly attack it with a single strike of your hit. Actually, this might be the point where there's 4 of them. I'm sorry about that, but we'll get 5 at one point. You don't just want to go up to them and grab them because it's too slow. His grab's too slow and you can get hit. What I would recommend is to go around the edges, the borders of this area so that you can potentially not run into anybody. Now, I can't say that you won't run into anybody, going around, but... Oh, here it is. This is the point at which there's 5, I think. And then you can leave. I'm pretty sure you can leave at this point. Yeah. You can leave if you want to. There should be 5. 4, 5. Yeah, there's 5. Now, at this point, you have no other shades that you're responsible for killing. But I'm going to stick around because I did it last time. And I found a pretty good damn spot to stand over here by these rocks. Sometimes they get trapped on one side of the rocks. So it's pretty good. And one of the problems, too, is that the sun shield, when you're holding it and you're guarding, you often cannot see if an enemy is approaching you, because some of them can be completely obscured behind the the sun shield. So first of all, know how many that you've killed, and if you don't see that number, he's probably not really hiding, but just being exposed. I mean, excuse me, he's being hidden behind the sun shield just because it's so big and bright. So what I would recommend is stay in one place, keep your guard up, and only let your guard down to grab an enemy. 5 grabs, you'll take one down. So that's 25 grabs. 25 grabs and to not get hit while they're all hitting at you like this is very difficult. But as a general rule, don't want to even move when you're grabbing. So don't go forward to grab an enemy if there's other enemies around. Now, it's very difficult to not break that rule, because what happens is that you want to just get to an enemy and you want to finish it and you want your sanity back. But I tell you, it's difficult. And I think that this is by far the best spot because you have all the visibility. None of the enemies are ever off screen, and you can take care of business. Like, this entire project, I haven't screamed as much on any part as this. So I guess that's just absolutely great, isn't it? Now you might say, well, why don't you just plume whore, stun them? Yeah, you can plume whore them, but they don't always take it. They don't always fall down. They don't always get stunned. They all just do not stay in a state of perpetual stun. So now you might ask, is it difficult if you don't kill the last 5 guys? If you just run, is it the same sort of? Is it still difficult? It is still difficult because after you get all of the upgrades and the gate opens, sometimes just getting out of the area is difficult. Because I don't know if I've put this to you properly, but these enemies are fucking fast. They're way too fast than they deserve to be or need to be. They were never this fast at any point in the game. The combat roll was always enough to get the hell out of the way of their attacks and to just outrun them. Now, I do have to say this, because it might be confused from what I said earlier. They can't outrun you, but it just feels like getting enough acceleration to get clear of the wide radius of their attack. It's just too much to ask for. And it's just the things that nightmares are made of. And this will be the last installment, and you are going to see, after I clear these shades in the field, you know what would be interesting? It would be interesting if there was like a big endurance fight in the field out here, rather than this garbage. Because let's be honest with one another. This part is just dog shit heaped upon dog shit. And the reason I turn around over here and I'm guarding now is because I heard roaring sounds, like from those enemies that those enemies make. So I thought, did somehow I miss one, or did another one spawn? So I'm just coming back here to take a second look. So it's just the soundtrack. And if it's not that, I apologize, but it's probably just the special effects. Now this is the last fight before you take on the final boss. You're going to have 3 waves of enemies. Archers with shield guys, a Sphinx, and then another set of archers. It just gets old coming up to a fight and killing archers or killing birds. And then after that you'll have a death knight. And for some reason this fight is not easy for me, and I kept failing on it for some reason. And I think it's because I'm in such a hurry at the end of the game to end it. And that's one of my problems too. Sometimes I just am in too much of a big haste. Using the super plume, it just gives me a little bit more reach than the plume. So there we go. Oh, there he is. Big as life. The Sphinx. And there are many walls that you can, like this whole area is a nice round area that you can back them up into to keep them in this state of just driving him back, pushing him out of the way. And you do have to be really fortunate, because in Ghost of Sparta, I'm pretty sure that you don't have access to a parry on a no upgrade run. So I thought that was pretty unique in this game's case. See how he gets antsy like that? He's gonna leap back and jump on you. I do know a way out of that. You have to like double jump and he will miss you. But it's crazy. I wonder if you use a turbo controller, if you can escape the damage of something like that. Because the quick time events are pretty much pointless. You're going to take a lot of damage even if you do them correctly. So I hope that everything has been to your liking on this walkthrough. I do have something to mention about Persephone. I am using, I did use the Gauntlet of Zeus. I haven't completely finished her yet, but I just finished phase 1. I was in another roaring fest where I was yelling out my window and wanting to punch holes in the wall because she's so... I have nothing against the final boss. It's just that having to run up the stairs every time and then get a cutscene, which admittedly you can't skip. You can't skip it on the first run of the game because they force you to watch the cutscenes. But I have no problem. I don't mind Persephone, but I do mind running up the stairs and having to skip the cutscene. I just don't like it. Just put me in the fucking fight. Stop making me do dog shit, running upstairs, listening to narration over and over again. You know, to do something that's fucking hard. They really, really need to learn, developers. Stop wasting my fucking time, you know? But here's the last normal enemy you'll fight in this game. It's this. Remember how much space we had to fight those 2 Cyclopses in the previous installment? Well, look how much room they give you to fight this Death Knight. Hardly any, is there? I mean, you can't just run around and combat roll and plume whore him, can you? Can't do the plume whore? Can't plume whore? Can't plume whore, motherfucker? Aw, man, every time I play God of War, I have the time of my life, but man, I've got to admit, this run is fucking difficult. Yeah, I mean, it is truly, truly very difficult. Take care.